Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to an early edition. Once again, another early edition of Shot from the Heart. I believe it's going on like episode 50 or so. I have to go back and look at that. But I'm your host, Isaiah Pfeiffer. Of course, you can follow this podcast on TikTok and on YouTube. Isaiah Pfeiffer YouTube channel. That's my YouTube handle. That's my YouTube channel. You find my music. You find my podcast up there. We're going to talk about how I deal with depression. I've talked about it to an extent before. I just wanted to give a one big secret as to how I dealt with it. Also going to talk about, not long, but we're going to talk about this whole spew between Carter, who is on Angel Reese's team, the Chicago Sky, and Caitlin Clark, who's part of the Indiana Fever. That game took place this Wednesday. They will see us again in Chicago later on this month. And then we'll talk about something that I don't really want to talk about, but I know you guys love to hear me talk about sports. We'll talk about the demise and the elimination of the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, because they are, as of last weekend, no longer a part of going to the World Series. So that's that. So we might as well start there. The first game wasn't even really much of a game at all. Both teams were playing. Both pitchers were playing. The first game was against VCU. We lost that game just 1-0. I know, 1-0, and it was off a walk-off hit, or a walk-off run rather. And that was the end of that. I mean, our bullpen just, I wouldn't say sucks, because there's a better word for it. Just it needs work. That's what I would say. But congratulations to VCU, but they got eliminated by ECU later on in the tournament, who eliminated us in the 9th inning. We actually came back, and we came back from a 4-1 deficit in the 9th inning. All it took was bats on the ball, a 3-run homer, couple walks, and before you knew it, it was 6-4. Then we get to the bottom of the 9th, where they start hitting errors after errors after errors in the outfield. My guy Williams just decides, I'm going to reach out for the ball and not firmly grasp it in my glove. I'm just going to let it drop in front of me and not continue the play, so I can at least try to get an out or something. No, he just sits there and looks at the ball. Then we get our bullpen pitcher. I think it was Hartle at that time. He couldn't close it out when we needed it the most. And granted that most of these guys on this team are freshmen. They just got their feet wet this year, but we need to get better next year. So there you have it. This final score was 6-5 against ECU, and I am taken solely into the fact that ECU was eliminated by a fellow ACC school in North Carolina, who is playing their super regional tonight, and they knocked off the defending college baseball champions LSU on Monday night by 1 in extra innings. So congratulations to them. It should have been us, but congratulations to them. I had a wonderful experience last night on this sports show while we're talking about the ACC and stuff. I interviewed Larry Dixon, who is an assistant basketball coach for the NC State Wolfpack, and it was fun. Of course, I had to throw my little jab in there about the Demon Deacons. I asked him a serious question, but I threw my little shot in there about the Demon Deacons. Like, if you were playing the Demon Deacons, what would be your strategy as to, okay, how can I guard this person, or how can I guard that person? And I asked another question too. How does he feel about critics saying that the ACC is the weak conference when it comes to sports? When it comes to basketball and football in particular, those are the two sports. But when it comes to baseball, I promise you, we're not a weak conference when it comes to baseball. I think we had 6 or 7 teams this past selection Monday make it into the tournament. One of those being Wake Forest. So I mean, you can't say that we're not a weak conference when it comes to baseball. And all power to Florida State, all power to NC State, all power to Clemson. Sorry guys, Wake Forest, you're going home. All power to the Tar Heels. Duke, sorry, y'all were already home as of Monday night. Y'all were already home. But that's just a few schools off the top of my head that I know of. Miami, you will get better. Virginia, y'all get better as well. Boston College, all those schools that didn't make it into the tournament, you guys will get better. Because ACC is a baseball school. But enough of that. I wanted to go into this real briefly. I'm not going to spend too much time about it because I think the media has ran it into the ground, and I think we don't really need to spend too much time on this podcast talking about it. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark faced off for the first time in the WNBA this past Saturday. The Fever ended up winning a gut punch, 1-point win for Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. But that wasn't the big story, Angel Reese versus Caitlin Clark. The big story involves Angel Reese, but not as much as people would try to point this narrative or make this narrative about. As we know, during the game, the Fever scored, or Carter scored, rather, and Caitlin Clark was trying to inbound the pass. Asia Wilson throws in the pass, and Kennedy Carter, said, kind of just did this with her body. She kind of just body checked her, and it was a foul because you can't do that to a player who doesn't even have the ball, and
right.
That's defenseless. That's like in football, defenseless player. That was unnecessary roughness. Now people are trying to paint this picture. Yes, she was cheering, and I'm referring to Angel Reese. Yes, she was pointing.
Her teammate.
But that is her teammate. Not to justify and say that she was right. That is her teammate. We cheer each other on. That is something you are taught early at an early age when you're in sports. But I digress. That has nothing, it don't really have nothing to do with anything.
Mm-hmm.
The whole narrative is painted around Carter and Caitlin. Words were exchanged on social media. Caitlin Clark is now getting targeted too much. And then it's the whole narrative of the media and fans going back and forth and this, that, and the third. And here's how I feel about it.
Too much.
Carter, you have no reason to talk when Angel Reese and Camila Cordorso, who was injured in the preseason, scored more than you off the bench. You coming off the bench, and you have the nerve to say, what more does Caitlin Clark bring to the table? I saw the numbers. She brings a whole lot more than what you do, but I'm sticking to what I said a couple weeks ago. I don't agree with the fact that it's just solely Caitlin Clark. I don't agree with the fact that it's solely Caitlin Clark getting all these opportunities and having all these eyeballs on the WNBA, because there have been others before her. Just people weren't. Brittany Gardner. There's Asia Wilson, Ionescu, the recently retired Aces player.
Yep.
She just retired, Candace Parker. And she used to play for the Chicago Sky as well, won a championship there. So you got to recognize the people that came before. Granted, there wasn't a lot of people watching WNBA at that time, but let's not act like they didn't pave the way for this stuff to happen, and these charter flights and all these opportunities that you guys are getting. It's not just Caitlin Clark. It's not just Angel Reese either, because Angel Reese came out and said that too. It's her too, but it's not just her.
Right.
It's pretty much, in my opinion, it's the entire draft class that came out. Because the entire draft class that came out, every last one of them had significant impact in their collegiate career, and they're having a significant impact in the game in the pros on that level, the highest level that you can get to. So let's not discredit these females. And everybody that's joining, I say hey to you. Get ready to open up questions here in a little bit, but bottom line is, Carter, that was wrong. I know you apologized for it. Witherspoon, you made a statement about it, and Angel Reese, you're a better teammate than I am, because I wouldn't try to condone that and take up for it. I get it. You guys are part of Baltimore and all that stuff, but don't, I understand the team concept of it, but no, it's not right. But
so how do you feel about the stats that Angel Reese put up yesterday? Was it yesterday?
First off,
probably was last night, right?
First off, yes, it was yesterday. First off, I didn't get a chance to actually stream the game because it was on a channel, on a local channel down there in Washington D.C. that we couldn't get down here.
Oh,
even with Prime Video, I don't think you could have got that here. I don't think, but I will say I did see the score and I did see the stat line, and honestly, she's getting better and better. I'm not worried about the points. I think she's the league's leading rebounder, ain't she? I think. I want to say that's Asia Wilson, or Ionescu in front of her, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Angel Reese is the league's leading rebounder. If not the league's leading rebounder, she is the Chicago Sky leading rebounder. We still got to cut down on fouls, though, Angel. And these referees need to stop being so butthurt about stuff, because they ended up taking away that call anyway. Earlier on throughout the week, they said that was a mistake. She didn't do anything to get ejected, so we apologize, blah, 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 all that stuff. But that's how I feel about it. It's a pretty good stat line for a first year rookie.
Yeah, pretty good.
I got any more questions?
I think everybody's waiting on you to talk about your autism.
Okay. So I talked about depression like 2-3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't give you like a secret on how I specifically deal with it, and I wanted to make it personal and then go from there, opening up the podcast for questions and whatnot. I deal with it with one simple word: music. Whether listening to it, writing it, or recording it, that's how I deal with it. Everybody else has their way of dealing with things, and I'm not going to tell you particularly how to deal with that, because that's something you have to
decide yourself,
go through and experience for yourself. I can sit up here and tell you it's not going to be an easy process, but I can't sit up here and say listen to music, because that's what's gonna get you through. I can't sit up there and say that, but I know what got me through, because people are different. There's different people. It's music. I like gospel music and R&B music and hip hop music. I particularly, if you like to get me an album, the favorite gospel album would be the New Nation Project by Kirk Franklin. I know that's a name in the gospel community and Christian community ever since that album came out, is according to some Christians, condemned name right there. But who am I to judge? If as long as you're spreading the right message in the music, it's fine by me. And as long as you got something you need to say in it, it's fine by me. But I digress. But that's how I listen. I listen to music, listen to these different types of music, and I come up with certain things, and I write my music and write these stories per se. They're not songs to me. They're stories. And it's stuff that I experienced. I'm not going to write a song about anything that I haven't experienced. If I haven't experienced it, you won't hear it out there on YouTube or anything like that. Everything that I say in my songs is real. I'm not trying to sell out, quote unquote. I'm not trying to get signed to anybody or trying to do anything for clickbait or for clout. but that's how I deal with my depression. Without music, I probably would be contemplating suicide like I was before in the past, which was something that the school had to tell at the time, my high school at the time had to tell my mom and my dad. They didn't even know until the school told them because I didn't tell them. But I told my friend who was concerned about me. At the time, she was concerned about me, and she went told the administrators and principal and everybody got me in there and everything. So ever since I found music, I've been just pushing myself and motivating myself. I don't even think about the stuff that used to make me depressed. I don't think about that stuff like not having a girlfriend anymore. I haven't had a girlfriend in over two and a half years, going on 3 now. Or I haven't gotten that level of relationship yet. But I don't think about that anymore because I try not to think about that because of my music. I got music going on and ministry and stuff, and I personally don't, whatever happens in the future happens, and that's how I look at it in a positive standpoint. But like I said, I'm not going to use my platform and say to you that that's what you should do. You do whatever it is that makes you feel better, that helps you cope with what you're going through. Go ahead, Mom.
I think it's supposed to be a joke, but they said, do you think your sister is going to allow you to have another girlfriend?
She didn't mind the first time. She actually, when the first time she was young, she didn't care and she didn't know nothing about it. So, and currently she is in my bed talking about she wants to be on the podcast, but it just comes in here and sleeps. But she's dealing with strep at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
She's a sweet baby sleeping.
So I don't mind that.
Oh no, she won't be on the podcast today. I don't know when she's scheduled, but today wouldn't be a good day. You wouldn't be able to hear it anyway.
Yeah, it's not a good day right now. Maybe sometime soon in the near future during the summer or so. But
Isaiah,
right
they want to
now,
know why you don't talk about her gymnastics.
Why I don't talk about her gymnastics?
It's off season, really.
Oh, because I don't know where to start when it comes to gymnastics. I don't.
We're still
know where to
learning.
start. I'm still learning what to say. I don't know what to say about it.
Well, you can tell them that she. What is one new thing, little girl, that you are doing? Oh, she's asleep.
Yeah,
what is it? The front hip circle?
Yeah, the front hip circle. What is that we
The
thought
pike?
was the pike. I'm like,
I
what
thought
is
it
that?
was some type of dance.
I'm like, the pike. Show the pike. What is the pike? And I'm like,
Yeah. So we're learning. So he's learning still. So as soon as he gets, he will talk a little bit more. But she actually is in off season. She's in training this season.
Yeah, we OTAs.
Yeah.
OTAs.
But she's mandatory.
Ain't no we gonna sit out contracts and
None of that.
like we're doing in the NFL. It's mandatory.
She-
In or you out.
She has been off for 2 days, but she will be back at it next week, bless her heart. And she is fighting the fight. She wants to do it. She just can't.
Well, she's supposed to be there now, but she can't do it because of the strep throat.
She's asleep, you
Yeah.
guys. She would be on there. I'd let her walk over there, but she's not at all in the mood.
Yeah. Well,
Isaiah, are you taking care of her?
yes, I am. When I'm here,
He
I
just
am
got
at
off.
work most of the time, which is I've been working for these past 2 days. I work tomorrow, so when I get off, I don't got anything to do. So
They told you
I'll
to
be
watch
taking care
out. Someone said, watch out. She's liable to get in the bed and sleep with you and give you the strep throat. No, Isaiah's a germaphobe. He ain't going to.
No, I got some wipes or some spray and stuff. I'm going to wipe it down when she get up.
He's a germaphobe. He don't play that.
Yeah, we ain't doing all that. I barely even hugged her today. So I'm not,
Yeah, normally he.
I know it's 24-hour antibiotic, and she done dealt with it, but we done hugged and stuff on her when we found out about the strep throat that Wednesday. So, we gotta do it. Are we barely opening our eyes, or we just
She's asleep.
okay? I was about to say we just barely opening our eyes and stuff.
Yeah, Isaiah does. That's one thing. A lot of people, a misconception, is that autism causes them not to have feelings. Isaiah's very sensitive to his brother who doesn't live here, all his siblings. But yeah, all the boys are very sensitive to her. Very sensitive. So when he got the text, he was like, oh my God, he wanted to know what was going on with her.
Yeah. It wasn't that worryful or stressful, because keep in mind that was yesterday during work, and work is already stressful enough, and I can't deal with all that, with all the anxiety and stuff that goes into that. I can't. My nerves just won't allow me to do that, because when I'm focused at work, I'm focused at work.
But yeah, he does have feelings, and he doesn't like to see her sick, and he takes care of her. I think that's like
Why we moved further down in my... What's she doing? Moving further down in my bed.
Isaiah's got her spoiled. And Alma's actually going to probably need therapy, because Isaiah's working a little bit more, and...
She was barking when he was leaving earlier.
Yeah.
She was begging him to stay.
Yeah, she's not used to that, and so I think if anybody's going to need therapy, it's going to be Alma.
Yeah.
His dog.
Yeah.
He's got her rotten. And she's barking now. She's probably wanting him to come outside.
Okay, so what we doing?
Yeah, she's moving further down.
Because she
in the
don't
bed,
want
and
it.
she's-
The light's too bright in here.
Well, she gonna have to deal with it just for another few minutes before. But do I have any other questions?
Hold on. You had the question about Wake Forest. What was the main reason wanting to go to Wake Forest?
Started off with a video game and then never looked back ever since. Started off with a college football game, College Football 07, which in July the college football game will return for the video game system here in July. Like July 19th is when the game comes out. When I get my system, the new one, I'm going to pre-order it ASAP. So, there you have it. Started off with a video game, and then I never looked back ever since. Just got interested and started doing some more research extensively, and there you have it. Wake Forest has been my school ever since I played video game.
Yep. Did you ever get a reason as to why they didn't accept you?
Wake Forest and Chapel Hill are the hardest schools in North Carolina to get into. All the paperwork, all the grades, the grade point average, that was on par. Unfortunately, I missed the deadline to turn everything in. So, and plus, that's again, you gotta apply to this. If I was still in high school now, you would have had to, and I was going to be a senior, you would have had to apply right now.
Yeah,
We shouldn't have to wait till February, because they had us wait till February for free college application.
Yeah, I remember.
But paying the fee is worth. Paying the application fee is worth it to get into school like that. And that's something I regret. I should have just went ahead.
We would have figured it out
and figured that out.
Yeah, we would have, but nonetheless, and it probably didn't help that he was going to have to have modifications as well.
Well, I mean, I think they would have worked around that. I mean, it would have been a bigger school and a bigger atmosphere.
They treated him with so much respect. It was a really good college tour for us, I feel like. They wanted to know all his modifications and things like that. But he did, I don't think, when he said he didn't get accepted, I think really you guys don't remember that he actually did get put on the waiting list.
Right.
By then he knee deep in music, engineering, and all that stuff.
Which is a question that they ask is like, why are you going for a degree in this
Yeah.
when you like doing this?
Yeah.
That's what when I was doing the interview, that's exactly what she said. And I'm paraphrasing. She's like,
Yes,
why? And I didn't know what if it was confirmation at that time. I didn't know that because I wasn't mature enough in that to understand what confirmation was and stuff like that. Believe me, I was saved at that time, but I didn't understand the concept of that. So then knowing then what I know now was confirmation. You know, don't go into it
just because somebody wants you to do it.
Right. Don't go into it because somebody wants you to do it. That's a lesson for everybody. Do it.
Yes, it was the medical field. He was going to do medical field. Yes. He has his CNA, but he would have to go do the test now. But he let it lapse. But yeah, he had his CNA license.
I wanted to be the baby doctor, which is an obstetrician. For those of you who watch the Cosby Show, that's what.
He wanted to be a gynecologist obstetricianist.
Yes. The one that delivers the baby has to crouch down and say push. Bring life into the world. Even my friend was like, why you want to do that? Because you like music. So, again, I didn't know what confirmation was or nothing like that. I wasn't that mature in that yet. Not like I am now.
What is she barking?
But
she's barking for Zay.
There you have it.
So if you guys hear that, that is actually Alma having one of her tantrums because he just got home and has not went out the door to see and be with her, and so she's going to keep doing that until finally somebody goes out there and gets her.
Well, I'm not going to go out there and get her. I'm going to go out there and feed her when the time is right to feed her, and right now ain't the time. So
you have about.
There you have it.
She had a tantrum yesterday.
30 minutes.
Yeah, I have about 30 minutes to feed her.
Yep, she had a tantrum yesterday with Isaiah. Isaiah got in the house.
Look who just popped up.
Yep, she's awake now, you guys. Any questions? She's awake.
Yep. What are we doing? Are we going back, or what are we doing?
You don't want to answer any questions today? She doesn't want to answer any questions, you guys. Wait till next week. Her throat hurts. She hasn't been talking.
Yeah. She woke up and talked to me. And I kid you not, this is how she talked to me. I'm fine. I'm like, what is wrong? Yeah, see? Go ahead and laugh. You know you want to laugh. If I come over here from behind this laptop and tickle you, you're going to start laughing now. You want me to come over there and tickle you? Now, don't do that. You're laughing.
Don't be
I got
scared.
any more questions?
Oh yeah, that so someone said that you have a sense of humor and sensitivity. Yeah, I think that's a little misconception. Not all the time. There's sometimes he might miss a time that he was supposed to be sensitive, but I feel he's sensitive and he laughs. Some of his jokes are dry, but I mean, just if you know Isaiah, you'll laugh.
Yeah, I wouldn't say dry. I say corny.
They're corny.
Yeah. They're corny. The joke I told to my ex came from SpongeBob.
Why didn't the pirate go to the movie?
I mean, she laughed, but then over time, it just got corny.
Which is your favorite cartoon, right?
Yes, SpongeBob is my favorite cartoon. SpongeBob. You want to get me in? Oh, dang! Thank you. If you want to give me anything SpongeBob, you are feel free to. I'm a very simple person.
To do so. Feel free to do so.
Yeah, I'm wanting to get him the SpongeBob Crocs.
I already got flip flops.
He's got flip flops, but I want to get him the Crocs.
I need slippers to go with the robe.
Oh
and the
yeah,
pants.
He needs slippers and new pajama pants.
I sit on top of the blanket.
Yeah, he sits on top of his blanket. He had that for quite some time, but he loves SpongeBob. He has a SpongeBob cup. I think it has like a little crack in it though, so we don't drink too much coffee and stuff in it.
But it's not that big of a crack though.
Yeah,
it still holds coffee and stuff. I got a lot of coffee cups, and I'm just trying to transition. You guys don't understand how much coffee cups I have. I have 2 from this graduation party. I have the Eagles cup that I had for
SpongeBob.
years. And then I just got that SpongeBob one, which
So
wasn't even really necessarily used for coffee. It
It's a
was used for
gamer.
hot cocoa. So,
So that's 4.
you know.
4 little
So there you
mugs.
have it. That's about 4 months total.
Yes, he's always been a SpongeBob fan.
We're celebrating that at the Kids' Choice Awards in July.
25th anniversary.
It's the 25th anniversary, July 13th.
Happy early birthday, SpongeBob.
Oh, well, you know, his birthday passed. It was in May.
Yeah.
But
Well-
the first season was in July. The pilot episode, as they like to call it, was in May. The first season continued on into July. So technically May was his birthday, but we're celebrating it in July. If that makes any sense.
Someone wants to know how did you get all that information?
That's just by being a fan of the show. By being a fan, I've watched that since I was 1 years old, because my brother was born in 1999, which was the same year that SpongeBob came out, and it's really been a staple of Nickelodeon. You can't talk about Nickelodeon without mentioning SpongeBob in this sentence. I mean, you could talk about Hey Arnold's and the Dougs and all these other 90s cartoons, but the mainstay that has always been consistent. You can even talk about the Fairly Odd Parents and the Jimmy Neutrons, which was, I love Jimmy Neutron
Would
to
Danny,
this day.
Would Danny Phantom be in
And
there?
Danny Phantom, and no, Danny Phantom's still kind of recently young. That came out in like 2004, 2005.
She's barking at because that's a different bark.
And so, yeah, you can't talk about Nickelodeon without mentioning SpongeBob. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, did you watch Disney? He did. I don't think he just
Yes.
took to it.
It just, here's the thing about Disney. They tend to make these shows, and they get these actors who end up going and doing some bad things. Like the black guy from Raven Simone. That's So Raven with the braids.
I can't remember.
He
his
was
name.
strung out.
Yeah, we didn't even know. did we?
And we didn't know until like here recently when he started sharing the information on TV. He came out and said that.
Yeah,
And
that's crazy.
Demi Lovato, all that.
It's a lot.
So I've watched Disney Channel. Actually, I took a liking to Phineas and Ferb.
Oh yeah.
The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Oh yeah. I
Wizards
remember
of
sitting
Waverly
watching that.
Place. Even the spin-off that they did of Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which was Sweet Life on Deck. Hannah Montana. I loved Hannah Montana, but Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana messed you up.
Someone asked you who's your favorite rapper.
Lil Wayne.
I was getting ready to say yeah. If you knew, because Isaiah loves Lil Wayne.
Lil Wayne.
Lil
I still
Wayne and
haven't
Drake.
have all his albums yet, but Lil Wayne
Why'd you name your fish Drake?
after the artist Drake.
You have some
I
little
know-
Carters
I
up
know that some of y'all are gonna say he took a L in this battle with Kendrick, but that's not true.
You don't think
At least
so?
Drake told the truth in his raps. We still have yet to find out if that's your actual son that he was talking about, or there's lots of things. You guys got to go back and listen to this stuff. I can't really get into too much of that information.
Yeah.
But-
He turns his tank off during podcast, but Drake's over
Which
there.
doesn't affect him at all.
No, he's over there throwing, picking up rocks and throwing them is what he's actually doing.
He's trying to find some food.
Yeah,
Sinks through
he
the
just
rocks.
slings them, and so that's that little tick, tick that you hear in the background is him slinging his rocks.
Trying to get attention.
He sits and looks at if you guys see Isaiah talking, he actually comes over when Isaiah talks. See,
Well,
I don't know how he got him to do that, but he's got that fish trained. See,
my beta fish used to do it.
look,
That beta fish lasted for about a good 3 years.
he's had, I don't know how many years, but it's been years. It's way over 3 or 4 years he's had.
5, 6 years.
Yeah, we've had the kids 6 years. Yeah,
Yeah, 5, 6 years.
5 or 6 years. Yeah, he's
There he
kicking.
is. Still alive and well, and I'm convinced that is a koi. That is not a regular goldfish. 'Cause
Yeah.
regular goldfish wouldn't be living this long.
So what happened was I bought like $5 worth of little goldfish. Well, there were 2 goldfish that still lived. Everybody else just disappeared. I think they ate them. And I think it was last year you lost.
About 2 years ago.
About 2 years
we
ago.
transitioned new tanks, and that
Yeah.
unfortunately that
The other one didn't make it. But Drake did. So I'm starting to think Drake ate everybody.
Drake is.
But that is his baby. Like, I made a mistake and came in here one day and thought the fish was starting to go. And I didn't even know fish actually went to sleep. And Isaiah's like, no, Mama, he's sleeping. I'm like, ran downstairs and told my husband. And sure enough, I come upstairs because I had done messed with the tank. And he was just moving and was angry. And so, yeah.
Yeah, you woke him up.
Isaiah says
Fish do sleep now.
he sleeps at a certain, I think it's like between 6:30, 7 o'clock.
When I get up, he gets up.
Yeah, he goes to sleep. Like when Isaiah turns lights off, you don't hear him. And then he's up early in the morning throwing rocks and ready to eat.
I fed him a few minutes ago.
I got any more questions?
Are you an animal person?
Depends on what type of animal it is, I guess. I wouldn't say a yes or a no, it just depends. Like, we talking about cats, we talking about dogs, or we just talking in general? Because if I'm an animal person, for a person to be an animal person, that means they like every animal. And when I say every animal, I'm talking about those creepy crawlies and everything too.
Oh no, he
And I
don't fool
don't.
with that.
And I don't fool with little things that slither and have their tongue sticking out. I don't fool with that either.
You don't fool with frogs.
I don't fool with well, see, there's a certain ethnic group that will deal with tigers and jump over their cage and deal with gorillas and whatnot. My ethnicity will not. We can admire them from in the zoo and just have them bang on the glass and roar and
We're good.
oh, that tiger.
Oh,
We're
that
not
tiger.
gonna. We're
Oh,
not
that
going to
tiger.
jump over the fence and do anything crazy that we might live to
And
regret.
I'm going after
So
you.
depends on what your definition of animal person.
Have you ventured out to the stores lately?
I was just in the store.
Yep.
Yesterday. last
Yesterday, well, and bless it, I wished I would have pulled my phone out. It was going dead, but you guys would have seen like he was having a little hard time because they were cleaning the floors. The machine was very loud, so he was literally right up under me. Even though I was telling him to grab something that he wanted, he was just trying to hear it and get out of there.
night. I grabbed what I wanted. It's over there.
Yeah, he got his starry.
Well, there's more to it than that.
Oh, and his
Star
donuts.
Wings, but I got my donuts, my mini Krispy Kreme donuts.
But he literally, when I say got out of there, he was not playing. He
Yeah,
was wanting
well,
to hear
that
it and get out of
rain
there.
didn't cooperate with me enough.
And then
So,
it started pouring down rain, which Zay doesn't like all that rain on him either. And so it was just, yes, last night wasn't a good adventure out, but maybe I can get him out and we'll film it for you guys. But he's just not.
yeah, if I run out of something, I don't go unless I run out of something.
Yeah. But that just wasn't a good one. But I'm trying to get him out a little bit more.
To the store. Do I have any more questions? All right, then I end this podcast with a positive note by saying good night, good afternoon, whenever you're watching this podcast. Quick mention, real quick, because of the Met Gala that's going on for our church, we will not be broadcasting next week because I want to be considerate and give my mom and dad enough time to get there, do what they need to do. I think it starts at like 6 or 7.
Oh yeah.
And I have to do my big brother duties
Yeah. He
and
has.
take care of my brother and sister while they're away.
And speaking of your sister, I think she's trying to play with my finger.
Well, in any event, we won't have it, but the Friday after next, we will. And then the 4th Friday, I'll have a guest sitting right here. You know him, you like him, you love him, whatever you want to talk, whatever you want to tell yourselves that, The cowboy hat, the belt buckle, all that and more will be sitting right here. Just as long as I can wear my hat, okay? If he's going to wear his cowboy hat, I'm wearing my hat, okay? I don't know which one. But my dad will be sitting here and we will be breaking down the schedule, which is on the wall over there,
Yeah.
of the Eagles, the 2024 Eagles schedule. I will spare him the preseason because he just doesn't want to see the
He
preseason.
just won't do it.
Because he wants to see the starters when they get to start, but he does like to see certain rookies. He won't sit there like me and just watch it because, it's just football, something to watch. But I'll watch it. I'll watch everything preseason, even during the off season, or like a bye week. I will find a game that you should see me on football. Like, oh, we got a bye week. Well, it's Dallas playing. Okay, well we gonna watch that game. Oh, well, what did I pick in the sports show? Oh, I'm gonna watch that game and what's pick 3, and I'm with the phone trying to calculate everybody else's results, and I'm like, okay.
We're ready for football.
I'm ready for
Are
it.
you ready for some football?
How many more weeks? You said like 12 more
You have
Sundays?
about 11 or 12 more Sundays
Before we go,
before
look,
football.
she's up and moving and driving everybody nuts already. She's over here messing with the camera.
Yeah, and you're gonna make up my bed too. Yeah, you're gonna make up my bed. Yeah, okay, yeah. Go back up under the cover. Yeah. Okay, I know
All right,
I know
you
like that.
guys. We will see you guys.
Alrighty.
Bye-bye.
Take care.